So this is part 2 of the summer of leasing 2023. I am in this first week of August right now, 2023, and we're in the middle of it. And I just actually got out of a great lunch with my team. We do that on Fridays. And posed the question with them because we're dealing with this. We are in the middle of it right now, and we're seeing some things that we've not seen before. One of the things that came up in our meeting, which was pretty interesting, was we're seeing how what we did last year is not translating to this year for a few different reasons. Now, the success we had with the rental market over the last few years wasn't necessarily had to do with a lot of stuff that we did. Of course, yeah, we'd like to take credit for our amazing marketing ability and all of these different things, but when we're trending the market up and we're just paying attention to the numbers and the data and the metrics and it's telling us what we need to be doing, it helps in making that a lot easier. And when the team is paying attention to what's happening and they're listening, then, like listening to what the market's doing, then they're able to bring those solutions. So a couple things this year. What are we seeing in the market right now? We're seeing people applying or they're showing potential interest online with our properties, but not following through with stuff after that, which is super unusual. If we look at the data online, something that we found, and I'll share with you next week, because next week in this, I'm going to pick apart the MLS stuff and how the values that we're seeing on the MLS and the trends that we're seeing is we're seeing such a huge surplus of furnished rentals of properties on the MLS, taking like half of the rentals that show up on the MLS right now, half are furnished or negotiable furnished. If they're negotiable furnished, that means that, hey, these aren't long-term short-term rentals anymore. These are, hey, we'll negotiate with you to get rid of those properties. I'll go into that more next week so you can actually see that data, because it was super interesting when we looked at it today, because we're like, wait, why are values potentially looking like they're going up on the MLS, yet where we're sitting, we're telling people to hold? And with that, let me actually bring in the expert on this part, because she and the team are in the trenches as she's been here waiting for her chance to jump in. Miss Evan.
Hello, everybody.
And legit, like this week, we're dealing with this stuff right now, and I thought, what better way to really explain from two different perspectives. So I'm looking at it from a particular perspective, and let me be straight candid. When I talk about what I recommend people do, I'm always speaking to the long-term unfurnished investor, right? If you have a plan that deviates from that, like maybe you want to sell in a couple of years, or you're going to move back into the house in a couple of years, some of the stuff that I put out there may not jibe with what may not fit as well, because I'm thinking like, hey, what is somebody holding this property for 5 or 10 years? How should they be thinking, or where should we be looking? Because that's predominantly our client, and that's myself. You know what I mean? So it's like it makes it easy to kind of look through that and beat it up and figure out what are we doing. So not to talk it to death. What are you seeing right now?
Seeing a major slowdown in leads, especially.
Okay.
Applications.
So are you seeing and I know that a lot of these answers, but I just want to make sure that we're
same page.
Yeah. Okay. Are you seeing a lot of leads from the very beginning, the initial onset of leads that come into our system? Because how it works is, as soon as we post this, we get all kinds of inquiries that are automated through the system that say, hey, we want to schedule a showing on this property. Are you seeing that slow down?
Yes, I'm seeing slowdowns across the board.
Wow.
Yeah, like from the initial posting, from what we posted. Let's say we posted the same property last year at this time, posting it this year. Last year it got maybe 20, 30 leads in the first week. Now this year, posting the same price, saying, hey, let's keep rate the same. Let's just keep going. Not
half?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes even less.
So half or less of the leads on the properties that we had. What we're also seeing is the conversion of, again, we're seeing like tire kickers. Why do you think we're seeing a bunch of tire kickers? Like, what do you think is happening in the market right now?
I think people are exploring their options.
Yes.
And that's why we'll see, lead gen right away on some of these, and then we'll see them kind of fall off.
Yeah.
However, from it being slow in the beginning, it even slows down even more, if that's the question, because that is happening as well.
Okay.
So we'll see people just inquire, we'll follow up, we do what we do. Crickets. Yeah, and ghosting. And again, this video is more directed to owners so that you all are knowing what's happening in the market right now. I got calls from 3 other property management company owners in the last couple of weeks that have said, Ed, what's going on, right? There is something specific that we do really, really, really well that other of our peers know is like our stuff. And the leasing part of it, we do well. Like, it's yeah, we pay attention.
Yeah.
With those Tuesday updates, we're constantly looking at those numbers.
So this is a time right now when we're getting feedback from our peers that it's like, what the heck is going on? The numbers on a national level, like now you're starting to see stuff saying, oh, rents are coming down. What we're seeing right now, though, is, it's like if people jumped into houses last year for rent, values are lower. So if you put someone in a house last year and they're potentially going to be moving, drop their rent, right? Like, or
keep them. Keep the rate the same. Our advice, and it's probably the advice other managers I think would be giving is from other companies is hold on to your tenant.
Yeah.
Keep your tenant. And so where we might be seeing that initial like looking around, inquiring, people are saying, nope, we'll keep the rate the same. We're going to keep you, or we're going to take a little bit of a hit and drop your rate so that you stay.
Yeah, and speculation, when people are first looking for properties, when they're first inquiring about something, it's like they probably already have a place to live, but maybe they're just exploring their options. As soon as they start breaching that conversation with their current property manager, they realize, oh, you know what? We're seeing more value in just staying put and staying where we are. Which brings up another point. We're seeing with the properties that we are putting on the market right now, we need to make sure that the tenant, the prospect, is seeing tremendous value in our properties, right? So it's that combination of pricing and value, and it's like if people aren't seeing the value, then the price has to adjust. So it's quickly dropping and getting that price, knowing that the marketing should be working. Things should be working right now. And it's not just something that we're seeing. This is something that we're seeing across the board, which is super interesting. What else do you think? What?
I mean, don't hold out. Like, if you are on market, be quick to adjust. Holding out for $50, $100 in this market doesn't make sense for your investment to lose $1,200 and then potentially lose $2,000 just to come down in 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, and double check with us as the stuff you want to put and do to your house before you spend a bunch of money on your rental property. Yeah,
talk to us, because some of the things you may need to do just to be competitive, but if you're trying to get, hey, if I add this or I do this, will it get me to what my rents were last year, or will it get me even more? No, don't do that. You may not even see the value come back to you. Keep that rate. Listen to us. Listen to your property managers. We're giving you the advice. We're giving you the data. We're wanting you to cash flow.
Yeah. I mean, nicely said.
I mean,
Yeah, the market right now is different. Next week I'll bring something else that kind of brings in. Thanks for chiming in. I really appreciate you.
Yeah,
I had to bring Evan in on this one because at the end of the day, it's like this is happening right now. Like, we're seeing it, and the team is entirely seeing it, and it's just a different level that we haven't seen before, like this, right? So we're doing our best to stay ahead of it, and we'll continue to give you guys this information and make sure that it's coming from the place that it is. Thanks, appreciate you watching.